Welcome to another Roboflow training movie. In this example, we will use a hotfolder template workflow to parse the folders of the drop folder and set field values, Cumulus field values, to the names of those folders. So basically, imagine a user has somewhere a drop folder with a predefined folder structure, and Roboflow, when cataloging the file, needs to parse that folder structure and that way getting it set to the different fields in the catalog. How do we do that in Roboflow? This is very simple. We create a hotfolder template workflow, and this hotfolder template workflow has by default a drop folder and some other parameters, and I added also here to the catalog. I added the asset handling set and Cumulus permission template, and in here this is where the real work happens. Basically, I start by testing if this is the first file in this loop that is being processed, because I'm going to open the Cumulus catalog, and I don't want to open the Cumulus catalog for every individual file. That would be stupid. If somebody drops 50 files, then you would open it 50 times. So I'm actually opening the Cumulus catalog only once. I'm not selecting, which I could do here, which catalog I want. I always try to keep the catalog outside the script, so I've defined here the catalog name, a variable, and I'm using that variable here to get it, Cumulus catalog, and then I prefix it with global because every variable that you create in an action script by default is only visible inside that action script. So to make sure that it is visible across the whole run of the workflow, I'm prefixing it with global or master, as we would have done that in Cumulus 8, which is exactly the same. Then that tells Roboflow to store it not locally to this script, but globally to this workflow. And at the end, my last instruction here is then test if we are processing the last item of the loop, and if that is the case, then I close the Cumulus catalog. So this is an efficient way of working. I do the same with the creation of the target folder. Somebody drops a file in a folder, I'm going to copy that to the target folder. I want to be sure that it exists, so I'm storing the path that was given to me here. I'm storing that path, and here it's a relative path. Application folder is just the Roboflow folder. In the real world, this will be a real path to a folder, of course, but for the reusability of this, I'm just using a folder inside my workflow. It says create if folder does not exist, etc. So I have that folder available across my workflow. Then the next step is to copy the file to the target folder and then to catalog the file. Now I'm going to store the path of my hot folder, not of my copied folder, but of my hot folder. I'm storing the path under something, a variable, an output variable that I call folder path. And then in that folder path, because it could be Windows, could be Mac, I'm replacing the backslash by slash so that every folder is separated by a slash. Now I have a complete path of the folder of where the hot folder resides, and then I'm saying store the last right part of a text. So I'm looking for the last instance of slash and pick whatever I have there. So if we look at my text file, what I'm doing here is I first stored from this file the folder path, which gave me this. Then I replaced the slashes by forward slashes. Like that. And now I'm picking up in this instruction, I'm actually just picking up the last part after the slash, after the last slash. So I'm picking up this and I'm storing this in the script under a variable called variable name, folder name. And in the next instruction, I'm setting my department, Cumulus field, to that folder name. And then I'm reusing my folder path, and now I'm saying give me the left part of everything before that last slash. So if I look here, that means that now I get this inside my variable. And now I'm going to repeat simply that process 3 times, because now again I'm saying give me that part, and then the next time I will skip it and I will say give me then that part, and again I will skip it, and then finally I will say give me that last part again. And that's it. So that's how I get those values, just by repeating that process, storing the right part, setting the value of that right part, storing the left part. So I'm trimming that folder name away, then storing the right part again, setting that value, and I repeat this for the department, the section, the division, and the season. And that's how you can parse a folder path and set it to different field values in Cumulus. Thank you for joining me on this short demo. And this was created with Cumulus 9.1.30 something. Let me quickly check. So it's can say give me the version info, and this is actually Roboflow 1.39. Okay, see you in the next movie.